So last night, the 6th episode of Star Wars Ahsoka aired, that being Part 6, Far, Far Away. If you would like to avoid spoilers, I released a spoiler-free short earlier today. It will be linked in the cards and down below. So check that out if you haven't watched the episode yet and want to avoid spoilers. But if you either have seen it or you don't mind spoilers, well, this is a review for you. So this episode, like I said, is titled Far, Far Away. The opening of it is pretty much just Ahsoka and Huyang traveling inside the Purgo, which got some neat shots there, and talking about the stories told at the Jedi Temple. And then there's a few other things going on, like Ahsoka shares with Huyang that she did not share with Hera, that the fact that Sabine willingly gave the map back to Balin and the others, and also talking about some other stuff too. But it basically ends with, a little bit of Ahsoka, I think, deflecting the conversation back to those old stories and saying, Huyang, pick a story to tell, what stories they would have told to younglings. And he begins with, basically, I think, if I remember correctly, a galaxy far, far away, which is also the title, because it's set in a galaxy far, far away from the main Star Wars galaxy. But I do kind of like they were able to incorporate that common Star Wars trope, if you will, at the beginning of most Star Wars stories into the story in a fun and exciting way. But that's not too, well, maybe a little bit on the nose, but I don't care. I enjoyed it. But the bulk of the episode is set on this planet, in this galaxy far, far away from the Star Wars galaxy. And so they do arrive out of hyperspace and all that. And apparently lots of the Purgo, the space whales, well, that is apparently where they go to die. So do we have like an elephant graveyard situation going on here? It's almost what it seems like to me. But they do arrive on the planet and they meet 3 witches of Dathomir. So apparently the Dathomirian witches are not native to the Star Wars galaxy, which is interesting. Oh man. The Dathomirians were complicated in legends. It only fits as they're going to be complicated in canon as well. It only fits. But now basically, 3 basically mothers of the Night Sisters are there, or the Dathomirian witches, which, I think one's called Red Mother, but apparently they were the ones communicating with, why can't I remember her name? I should know it. Morgan Elsbeth. And I gotta say, and it seems like they were communicating with her on Thrawn's behalf, who's enlisted their services to give him an edge, probably because their dark magic, which he doesn't at least acknowledge that it is dark magic, so that's something. And yes, Thrawn does make his appearance. I'm kind of jumping ahead, but hey, this is my spoiler review. But anyhow, Sabine is basically still taken prisoner, but after she's led to another cell. So that's basically when Thrawn arrives to greet Morgan Elsbeth and also Balin and all that. And he arrives aboard his Star Destroyer, the Chimera, which definitely has seen better days. And then we get a look at the Stormtroopers. They look like they have been customizing their armor in some fashion. And Thrawn's Captain of the Guard has like a weird gold mask on his Stormtrooper helmet. It is weird, so things have not been kind to them, and Thrawn's uniform is not pristine white, again reflecting, I think, things have not been kind to them on this planet in exile. But yeah, so it's apparently they got 3 rotations of 3 days before they can leave again, because of the preparations they have to make, loading some kind of cargo. What is this cargo? That is what I am wondering. But anyhow, at some point, basically Thrawn lets Sabine go to find Ezra with the intention that, granted, he does try to make Sabine think that Ezra might be dead, but the intention is that she'll find Ezra and then Balin and Shin will follow unbeknownst to Ezra and Sabine and then kill both of them. And like I say, Sabine does find Ezra. First, she does have to defeat some bandits. Then she comes across I'm going to call them the native inhabitants of the planet, the actual people who live there. And they lead Sabine to their village, and she finds Ezra there. And Ezra has learned their language. I wonder if the Force has communicated. But apparently they don't stay in one place too long, because it probably starts from predators, bandits, and probably also the Empire too, is my guess. Oh, Thrawn's remnant, I should say in this case. But yeah, So there's that. Though Sabine is well, she can tell she's happy to see Ezra, and Ezra's happy to see her. She is hiding from Ezra that she basically had to make a deal with the devil to get there. She doesn't have a ship to take him home, and she doesn't know that Ahsoka and Huyang are following in a Purgo. She doesn't, Ezra does not know that. Neither does Sabine as well. But yeah, I have a feeling, could that cause some friction if she doesn't tell him on the sooner side? Because he needs to know that stuff. Know that Thrawn now has a way to get off the planet and return to the galaxy. All that stuff Ezra does need to know. But yeah, it's going to be very interesting. But like I kind of mentioned in my spoiler review, this episode is doing a lot more setup. There's not too many major plot beats, but we're learning more about, I think, what's going to be the overarching story with Thrawn and all that. But I also think we're getting a hint into the character development that Sabine still needs to go through. Yes, Ahsoka has gone through the majority of her character development, but she and Sabine still need to have that reconciliation. But it looks like there's other things that Sabine still needs to learn. She's so focused on being happy in the moment that she's found Ezra and they're reconnecting, that she's endangering the galaxy at large by not telling him all the information he should and needs to know. But that's what we're probably going to figure out in episode 7 and 8. So we're going to just wait on for that. But that's all I have for today. This has been mostly a plot summary more than a review per se. But again, these plot elements are the review. These are what is being set up, the overarching plot. So that way we can have the emotional, the character story. This is set up, and that does need to happen every so often to be able to tell a story successfully. The exposition, if you, but I gotta say, it was damn good exposition, and I really did enjoy it, and I really like the stuff they introduced. And I really like seeing more kind of, still very much Empire and Imperial, and still following lots of procedures, but also, Thrawn was definitely, I'm not gonna say more lenient, but he was much more open as a commander than as many other Imperials. So the idea that he's letting his stormtroopers do some form of customization makes sense. Keep them together, keep them from becoming bandits. I do like seeing that stuff. It gets an insight into his command style that even after all these years, he's managed to effectively maintain control of the ship. Though, I do want to say, it's just a chimera. Did all the other Star Destroyers that got sent by the Purgo into hyperspace not survive unlike his? Just something to take a note of. But that is all I have for you today. I do hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, please let me know what you thought of this episode in the comment section down below. And as always, have a good day, a good night, wherever you are. May the Force be with you always. Thank you for watching this video. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please be sure to give this video a like, as well as subscribe to my channel and ring that bell to stay up to date on my latest content. Also, be sure to check out the link tree in the description, as well as any other links I have down there.